5 trillion, hopefully will be the top 3 economies in some time. That period, real estate, infra, huge capital guzzlers, metals. So any company or outperformer of that time, you talk about huge capital requirement. And preceding just maybe 3-4 years before that, you had the dot-com thing where capital was not required, right? Internet doesn't require capital. So this shift in the market, and obviously there were global factors also, but the Indian psyche again, kind of got pulled into it. And you would possibly remember it all started with the Maruti IPO, the big cycle. So any particular incidents or memories which come from that period, and I will also ask you what happened in 2008 then. So first the run and then the fall.
See, we get the chance to meet a lot of corporates, and what happens is corporates also get sucked in. So, what happens is corporates became more and more and more aggressive. So, if you do extremely well, I remember meeting a steel company. That steel company told me that I want to go to Georgia to drill for oil. Then I want to go to Africa to drill for diamonds. I want to go to Latin America and do this. So what happens is, when you do too well, what happens is you start trying to do too many things.
And you feel as if you are good in one thing, you are good in everything.
So what happens is, frankly, some of the mistakes come out of overconfidence of the corporates also. And in my opinion, it is the 5th year and the 6th year of success of a corporate. So that's one of the reasons I would say that humility is one of the most important things which is required for an investor to make money. Because somewhere, humility is needed. Otherwise, what happens in the 5th year of success of an investor, the investor starts taking higher and higher risk. That highest risk that they start taking in the 5th year, pull them down.
And that too on maybe a higher amount of capital.
Higher amount of capital. So how does an investor remain humble in the 5th year of success? And that is very important for investment success. So when you talk to Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger, if you look at those interviews, what you find is that they have remained humble and grounded. How do you remain grounded if you're going to make so much money? Because as investors, as I keep saying, you can become drunk with success. And by becoming drunk with success, you start taking risks which you should not be taking. And that results in losses. And so the risk has to be same. What risk you were taking 5 years back, if you are taking now, it's fine.
Especially if I had to pick one sector, it is the technology sector, which has captured an entire generation's imagination like no other sector ever has. Especially I can tell about myself or my friends, the way it has changed how people think about jobs and work and work-life balance, work from home. So some of these things are absolutely new, and these are not just economic concepts, these are now social concepts, right? Because there is a set of people who are saying you need not come to office at all, and there is a set of people who are saying no, you need to come to office. So if I just talk about the economic aspect of it, and the kind of companies which have grown, and over the last year or so we have seen stock prices just getting butchered. And in fact, some of the stocks which actually got listed 5 years back, people have not made money in 5 years also. India somewhat has been insulated because there's only very few companies in this startup tech space which are listed in India, and there people have lost money. At least today, as we in August of 2022, they have lost money. In your opinion, and this was true in 2000 also, that maybe 70, 80, 90% of the companies will never make a comeback. But the scale at which these companies have already deployed capital, it is much larger than what it was then. Do you see this as a flash in the pan, and as, let's say, 2 years down the line when monetary policy eases again, again the same mistakes will be repeated, or people have learned their lessons at least for some time. Obviously no one will be sane forever. That greed, as you said, will propel people to commit mistakes. Argentina has defaulted, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, but still international markets people give them money. So so how do you see this, that whether people have learned their lessons, or whether you can't help it, it's human nature, we'll again commit the same mistakes?
There's a clear answer, because technology has changed the world. All said and done, you look at how things are today, you look at how Google has changed the world, how Amazon has changed the world, how Apple has changed the world, how telecom has changed the world, how Indian IT has changed the world. So it's very easy to say that, technology hasn't changed. Now, at this point of time, we can talk about a set of companies which have created losses. But in the first year I used Google, I used to ask myself, how will Google pay for itself? Did I know that Google will pay for itself through advertising? The answer is no. Did I know that Facebook will pay for itself through advertising? Answer is no.
Correct.
Do I know who's paying for my usage of WhatsApp? So I believe that a lot of things happen which we cannot predict, and that's the beauty of technology. So it's difficult for us to say what is a loss, what is not a loss. But technology has changed, the world has changed India also. And we have to accept that. So it's difficult for us to say, and there will be companies where you will think that there is no revenue model, but they will suddenly come up with a revenue model that you and I cannot think about. And that is how things have been over the last 10-20 years. So it's tough to say at this point of time.
And at the same time, it's very tough to call out the winners also.
Absolutely.
Who will win? I mean, capital is the easiest thing to get. Yeah.
And after the winners have happened, like, let's accept companies like Google or Facebook or those kind of companies, or Netflix, they've all been winners.
Yeah.
So when the winners happen, they become dominant. So let's face it, we are not capable of understanding who becomes winner at some point of time.
So there is so much beyond investing in equities. How do I explain to them the importance of other asset classes? And there I will include even real estate, because now through REITs, investing in real estate has become so easy. For 300, 400 rupees, I can actually become a part owner of a large commercial building like the one we are sitting in today. How do I make them appreciate the importance of diversifying beyond equities?
See, it's simple. See, as I mentioned right at the beginning, you can run in first gear, you can run in fifth gear. If you run in first gear, you sometimes don't end up reaching a destination. If you run in fifth gear, you may have an accident. But if you run in second gear or third gear, you end up reaching your destination, but the chances of an accident are lower. Asset allocation is equal to running in second or third gear. So that is the beauty of asset allocation, if you ask me. Most of the time, actually, you never run in fifth gear. Most of the time, you don't run in first gear.
Right.
But the best way to reach your destination is always second or third gear.
That's right.
And that is the beauty, because at the end of the day, markets are rarely in a situation which is very, very cheap or very, very costly. So investing in all the asset classes actually gives you the best experience over the long run. So that has been our principle, because finally at the end of the day, we believe everyone should reach their destination.
Yeah, that is the most
And to reach their destination, asset allocation achieves the objective. Everyone doesn't need to build a Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to reach their destination.
Yeah.
So if you want to build a Taj Mahal, maybe asset allocation doesn't help. It may help to take the highest risk and get it right. Since everyone doesn't need to build a Taj Mahal, so our belief is asset allocation achieves most people's objective. So that is how we looked at it, and that too, we are believers in other people's money. We manage other people's money.
That's right.
And we believe that process is much better than taking extreme risk and getting it right.
Definitely, market also believes what you're saying. You can simply go and buy a basket on Kotak Cherry, and you will have balanced advantage fund, then you will have your precious metals also. So technology actually is solving some of these problems of ease of access. Otherwise, sometimes finding those funds and then investing in those
That
funds.
clearly people like you have done a beautiful job of making it easier to invest
Yeah.
and thereby widening the entire basket to the entire customer base. I mean, when I joined ICICI Mutual Fund in 2004, the customer base we could reach was very narrow. Whereas today, thanks to people like you, we are in a position to reach a much larger base,
That's
and
right.
all of them get that benefit of that basket
Yeah.
to a very, very large audience. For that, we have to thank people like Kotak Cherry.
No, and Naren, I think more than Kotak Cherry or ICICI as an institution, I think overall market has done a very good job of educating that retail investor that you have to stay there for the long run. As you said that if you have to reach your destination, you have to be in the race in the first place.
Absolutely.
And that is something we have seen over the last year or so. 12,000 crore monthly inflows we are seeing in SAPE, and this onslaught of FII selling which was there. If this retail money was not there, I don't know where the market would have gone.
Yeah. The regulator did lot of steps over the last
Yes.
18 years that I've been in this company that has helped the entire industry to grow and help the investor also in a
Yeah.
significant way.
So I think we have run out of time. As I said, Naren is one of my idols. I'm a big fan. We can't let him go so soon, but there's a limitation of time. So maybe we'll have him again on our channel very soon. So Naren, thanks a lot
Thank you.
for being
Thank
with
you.
us. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Wish all the investors happy investing experience.